Blessings, my melanated people, God's people. Man, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I got a video clip I want you to watch. Remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification button so you can be notified when I put up a new video. I got a clip I want you to watch. And I'm not coming back after this because this says it all. And the reason I do these clips is not to bash America and all that, but melanated people need to understand to stop trusting our government, because our government has nothing for us. It never has, and it never will. And you cannot trust them. They say you need this. You know what I'm talking about. And you can line up and say that you got to have it. They put out all kind of vaccinations that they say are going to help keep you healthy, and they've never been concerned about keeping you healthy, but we go and take them. You know, just check this out and hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Remember, touch feet to soil, recharge those organs, get some sun, and also love your melanated self. Be blessed.
I'll tell you about our whorehouse. This was just literally unbelievable. I was shocked. I was quite a prudish young man. Actually, I was. I had no girlfriends to speak of. Had not had but one or two sexual experiences in my whole life up to that point. Here I am, just turned 21, and I smoked, but I didn't drink, didn't, have much to do with anything like that. But I wasn't religious or anything. And so here we are. I'm sitting in that little base camp I was just telling you about at Benoit. I'm sitting in my bunk, and it was a Sunday, I think. They kind of give everybody a chance to go to the PX and so forth, buy shaving gear and stuff. And this is about December, probably 15th. And one of the sergeants comes in. He says, Sergeant Bass, he says, get up and go with us over here. You're going to be in charge of the whorehouse. I said, the what? Yeah, he says, we got 15 girls over here. And it's your turn as one of the sergeants and squad leader. You got to go over there and take over the whorehouse. You got to serve 4 hours running that whorehouse. I had never heard of such a thing. That was just a whorehouse here on base. Yeah, oh yeah. So I go over there, that's part of my duty, I'll go do it, And here they have a little desk set up. It's a regular barrack, just like the one that I was just laying down in. And I go in over there, and they've got all these beds, these army cots, lined up. They've got blankets set up like little privacy walls, and mosquito netting and so forth. And I go walking in there, and there's like, I guess there was more than 15 girls, because there was like 11 bunks on one side and like 10 or 12 on the other side. And each and every one of those goddamn bunks had a female sitting in it. And she was about half naked, each one of them. And they're all Vietnamese girls. They're all young, and they're, God, some of them must have been just mere children, 14, 15 years old. It was unbelievable to me. And I'm walking up and down through there checking this out, and this guy's telling me, he says, this is Susie, this is Karen, this is Ellen, give me all these female names that they had assigned. That was how you would tell which bunk you were going to send the little sign on the end of the bunk, these female names. And none of these women spoke English. They're just poor women that were there to make a buck, girls. Some of them were kind of old and grim looking. And I literally was disgusted by this. I just could not believe that the U.S. Army supported such a damn thing. And after looking it over, and then the reality of what is going on here sunk into me, I said to the sergeant, I said, well, I'll tell you what you can do about my duty. You can stick it in your ass because I'm not going to do this. I am not a fucking pimp. I'm a soldier in the United States Army. And I am not going to do this. You understand me? And he goes, well, goddamn, aren't you, he starts berating me. And we almost wound up in kind of we didn't actually come to blows, but I shoved him aside and walked out. And, I remember, because, these screened-in porch buildings that we were living in, I could look across the way there and I could see the door of this whorehouse. I don't think I ever saw more than 2 or 3 guys walk in that thing. And I thought, afterwards, I've read a lot of history about soldiers. And, they had soldiers lined up around the block in Hawaii during World War II. They had professional contracted whorehouses that were set up to service the GIs that were there in Hawaii. Ships would come in, these whole shiploads of men would get off, and they'd go right straight to these government-sanctioned whorehouses, get $3 for 3 minutes. I was, even though I was aware that that stuff had happened, it just really shocked me that it was right there in our unit. Each unit in Benoit had a whorehouse. And there were hundreds of units there like ours. Anyway, that's another little dark secret of Vietnam. I don't hear the government talking about their on-the-base whores. Women. I felt so sorry for the women. I've got just a few more minutes and I'll tell you, looking at those women, not one of them had a look of smile or inviting. They all looked ashamed. They all sat there holding their hands over their cleavage, and trying to cover themselves up as best they could. Some of them didn't have anything to cover up anyway. They were just children, little girls, probably 12, 13, 14 years old. And I was just, I didn't know what to think about that. But they all looked like, to me, having sex with one of them would have been more like rape, because they didn't want to be there. They were going to do it for survival, for money. And it just, you know what else? I got just a minute. They wound up while we were going into the country, we went to a class where they talked about the Vietnamese culture and how proud these people were, how Christian, how Buddhist, how family-oriented, and that we should be highly respectful of them and so forth. And then our own government, our own army, the same people basically that had given us that lecture turn right around and go out in the streets of Saigon in these poor sections of town and give us your daughters. You got a mama son, or they didn't call it mama son, but you got a mama that's over past her prime, bring her in. GIs will screw anything. Anyway, it made me disappointed in my army. Sure did. That's all I got to say about that.